Play some music for us. All right, y'all, we back. We are back to the HBCU Daily Grind. Resources beyond the yard. Y'all know who I am. Omar Muhammad. Helping you all improve and progress in business and in life. Stop that music. All right, y'all. We're live. We're here. I want to thank Mike Ballard, as always, for this beat that he provides for us each and every week. And let me see something. I said they can't see me, but I can see me. I can see me, but nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and move on. So I missed you all last week. I was at that golf tournament, and man, it was nice out there. I couldn't get back in time to do the podcast, but nonetheless, we are here today. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, at HBCU by Association. Past episodes can be found at our website, which is hbcubyassociation.com. So with that said, we're going to go right into our guests. As you know, we have the special guest every week, except for last week. I was the special guest. But today we have Tiffany Spencer. She's going to tell you who she is. Hey, Tiffany, welcome to the HBCU Daily Grind.
Hey, thank you. How are you?
Hey, always improving and progressing. How about yourself?
Doing good.
All right, good deal. So give a shout out. What university what HBCU did you attend? And what was your major?
I attended the great Bethune-Cookman University, founded by Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune. My degree is in computer information systems with a minor in business administration.
Ah, good deal. So you're the first one from Bethune-Cookman. So welcome and thank you for being the first one. Now you got to tell all your colleagues, hey, y'all need to catch up. All right, I'm gonna have a run the tally of how many people I have from different schools. But nonetheless, I do want to start off like I always start off with this. You know, I believe there are 4 quadrants at an HBCU, and I'm gonna mention them and just let me know which one or 2 or all 4 resonate with you. The 4 just happens to spell out HBCU. So let me start with the H. So the H is for homecoming. The B is for Black excellence. The C is for clubs and organizations. And the U is for a united place on campus. So which one? The H, homecoming. B, Black excellence. C, clubs and organizations. And then U is the united place on campus.
I need to pick one.
You can pick all 4. You can pick 1. You can pick 2. This is your show, so come on.
You can do any of them.
Yeah, you could do 4 of them. You could do any of them. So what resonates with you?
Black excellence.
Okay, tell us more.
And so I think for anybody I've ever met that's an HBCU graduate has always been a great display of Black excellence. They are always overcomers, always high achievers, always on point. Sorry, I hear heart.
Yeah, we got feedback.
And so I just think of all of our founders, all of the history, all of it just is a great example of Black excellence.
Absolutely. I love that. You know, Black excellence is all around HBCUs. And you know, if you attend an HBCU, that Black excellence and, you know, those professors, they won't allow you to slack at all. I don't care who you were, they wouldn't allow you to slack. Right. So while at Bethune-Cookman, were you an entrepreneur?
No, not really. I mean, I sold, I'm dating myself, but I sold, a few CDs here or there, used to burn CDs.
Look at those things.
But
You said,
yeah,
it's all.
no. While I was in school, I worked actually in the IT department as a student IT support. So I helped with any IT issues across the campus. I worked at Gap in the mall, and I had an internship over the summer. So that was most of, how my money came in.
Mm, mm. So I'm gonna get back to the entrepreneurship at Bethune-Cookman, but I do want to learn, how did you get to the position that you in now with your company? And give out your website. Give out your website so as people are tuned in right now, they'll be able to see your website. So give out your website.
Yeah, so my website is www.tech-forward.org. That's my nonprofit. And then my other initiative is Dreamin, DREAMIN, incolor.me. That is the conference that I'm having in a little over 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. So give that dreaming again. Give that website again. I want to make
It's
sure.
Dreamin with no G, IN, Dreamin, incolor.me.
All right, good deal. So let's start off with the nonprofit. So why the nonprofit?
Yeah, so the nonprofit started because I have been in the Salesforce space for over 15 years.
Mm,
And I have made really good, um, my income has continued to increase, my opportunities continue to increase while in this space. And I started to see lots of stories, like you see everywhere, about people pivoting into technology. And Salesforce started telling these stories about all these different what they call trailblazers, going from car mechanics or hairdressers and pivoting into tech through earning Salesforce certifications. And I wanted to help increase the diversity in those stories. Salesforce didn't at the time have any HBCU initiatives, and that is why I started with Bethune-Cookman, introducing those students to Salesforce as a company, as a technology, as a career path, and decided to continue on with that work, reaching out to other HBCUs and helping students to get certified, get internships, and get jobs in that space.
oh, I love that. So you mentioned hairdressers and auto mechanics. So you're saying that they left what they were doing to get certified in IT?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's lots of just really amazing stories of people that have come from non-IT backgrounds, just various backgrounds, learned Salesforce for free or through a course or some sort of program, got certified, got a little bit of experience, and put themselves on and into a career path, into a tech career path. And Salesforce jobs on average, I mean, they pay good 60, $70,000. It's one of the fastest growing areas, and there's such a need for talent. And I wanted to make sure that our students from HBCUs were aware of this path and other paths like it. This is technology like ServiceNow, where if you work in a call center sometimes, or you've worked in other positions, that you're using this, but you don't know that you can actually make a career out of it and get certified in it.
Yeah, that's interesting. So your nonprofit, do you go out to the community and you educate them on what you're doing right now, or what exactly does your nonprofit do?
Yeah, so we have three programs. So one program is called HBCU Forward, where we reach out to professors at HBCUs. We provide curriculum and instructors, and we work with those professors to add Salesforce curriculum or Tableau or AWS to their class.
Oh wow.
And so that's how we work with schools. We also have a program called Community Forward, where we work with nonprofits, high schools, community colleges to do the same thing. And so we are, preparing them to have this sort of program at their organization. We provide the instructor, we teach them how they need to network with the community to let the local businesses know that they are preparing, talent and to help get them jobs. And so we help them to set up that program. And then we have a third program called Forward into Tech, That is for adults or career transitioners that are looking to transition into tech. We do certification boot camps where we provide an
Wow.
instructor, we do LinkedIn reviews, resume reviews, and we help with job placements.
Wow. Give me a website I get. Are y'all listening to this? If you know somebody that need this, reach out. So what's the website again?
It's www.tech-forward.org.
Yeah. So it's interesting that, I have a 15-year-old daughter, she stays on on this device. And I'm like, figure out a way in which it's nothing wrong with being on a device, but figure out a way in which you can incorporate that and make us some money, especially during the summertime.
Exactly.
You could do a TikTok channel for me, or you could do something else, become certified,
Mm-hmm.
while you're still in high school. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad to see that, you're here, that you're doing that. So how important is it to reach back to Bethune-Cookman or any other HBCU to get them involved in this recruitment process, so that they can, individuals can begin to think about, hey, as you indicated, here's a career opportunity.
Right. I think it's important because if you think back to when you were, 20, 22,
Mm,
um,
all back.
I know. If you think about that, we're asking students to make lifelong decisions about what they want to do. And that's hard. I remember it being, what does this job description really mean? What is a systems architect? And really helping students to understand the corporate landscape. And so I think it's really important for people to reach back to help these students make these decisions. A lot of the conversations we have with students inside of the classroom is really helping them to understand, they may want to give back. Well, what does that look like in a corporate environment? Or should that even be a job? Is that something you just do outside of your job? Understanding if you like communications, what does that mean from a corporate perspective? If you want to go into communications in a corporation, this is what that job looks like. This is what skills you need to have. These are what tools you need to have experience with. Or being able to say, okay, if this is what you like, this is what it looks like on an entrepreneurship path. And so making sure students understand their options and what that means long term. Because I meet people all the time that said, man, if I knew I could have, gotten to this career path earlier, if I'd have known it paid more money, if I'd have known I could work remote and all these things, they would have done it sooner. And so the idea is to help put qualified people in front of them sooner to help them make these decisions and see their different career path options.
Yeah, I like that. So are you finding that you're a match, meaning that you got the students or community over here, and you got all these tech companies that are looking for tech support or talent. Are you finding that you're a match for that?
hmm Yeah, we have lots of great companies. There are all kinds of companies that are looking for talent in the areas that we're training in. And some of those areas are not super technical. Like you don't have to code, 'cause I don't know how to code. You don't have to, be like a weird developer in the dark, but looking at the computer all the time. There are other tech adjacent careers in which our training helps put you on a path to those careers that are higher paying, but really just it gives you so many options across different companies. And so that is one of the things that most of the students don't understand. Positions like business analyst or project manager or
Mhm.
testing and QA and all of these different product manager that you can start with before you even get down the tech path. And so companies are always hiring for these things. Back in the day, you know how we used to have to know Microsoft Office and you have to put that on your resume.
Yeah.
That's how some of these tools are now. Salesforce is not just something a techie needs to know. It makes you competitive for all kinds of different positions. Knowing Tableau, knowing Canva,
Yeah.
knowing Google Suite, that lots of companies use these tools. And so it makes you competitive for various companies, various positions.
I love how you say you don't have to necessarily start, because it's like everything is tech, 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 but they're the hairdresser and auto mechanic, and start off and understand, that they can incorporate some type of tech into their business to kind of get to that tech company. Just like you said, individuals that have different backgrounds. I mean, they may not want to be a techie right now. They just want to, get some money coming into their pocket, to be honest. They want to get, here's an opportunity to do that. Well, that's good. All right, let's transition now. Let's transition to your event that's coming up, Dream in Color. Tell us about that. Your face just lit up when I said that.
Yeah.
Tell us about
Yeah.
that.
Dreaming in Color is the only conference for Black Salesforce professionals. So Salesforce, like Google and Microsoft, they have these big user conferences. So Salesforce has one that's called Dreamforce that's every year in San Francisco. But as you can imagine, going to those big tech conferences is expensive. The registration is expensive. The hotels can be expensive. And so the Salesforce community started having these smaller conferences that were more regional based or based on maybe a specific career role or path or product. And so in all of those events, there wasn't one for Black Salesforce professionals.
Wow.
And as you know, in any tech field, there's always a need for Black professionals to see each other, to network, to connect, to unite. And that's what Dreaming in Color is all about. And so the conference is June 29th through July 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. We chose Raleigh because we were looking for a city with some some Black history to it. And so, of course, Durham, Black Wall Street is really close to Raleigh. There are 10 active HBCUs in the North Carolina area, in which we actually are giving free registration to HBCU students. We are giving, so we have free discounted registrations for students, for professors at those universities. We have a special dedicated session just for HBCUs that maybe want to learn about Salesforce as a technology tool for their universities. And so it's going to be an amazing event. We have companies that will be there hiring and interviewing. And so we'll be promoting positions with those companies. It's going to be a really, really great event, very special to me because I know what it's like to be in this space and not see anybody that looks like me. And I wanted to help to solve that.
I love that. And it's going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh is nice, especially around this time. It's interesting. I was there last year around my birthday, on my birthday. So, I got to make a trip down to Raleigh again.
Yeah.
And I heard you say that it's just not for people who are using Salesforce, it's for others as well.
This is for current and aspiring Salesforce professionals. And so if you're just maybe you want to look into Salesforce, you want to understand what the career paths are. We have a whole session track just around careers and career pathing, everything around negotiation, what the career paths are, understanding and individuals, Black people in those positions that will be leading those sessions. We actually have a leadership and entrepreneurship track because Salesforce has a whole partner ecosystem. So I had a consulting company that was acquired, and my consulting company worked with HBCUs and nonprofits. And so you don't have to go work for somebody. You can be an independent consultant or grow a company and be a Salesforce partner. And so we have a whole session, 17 whole track dedicated to educating people about what it means to be a Salesforce partner and the opportunities there.
Oh, wow. All right. So I'm not going to let you skate by on this one. Did I hear you just say you got acquired by another company?
Yeah.
I heard everything else you said, but you said I got acquired by, what was that process like?
It was an interesting process.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So my business partner and I, a former Salesforce AE, we started a consulting company a little at the end of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's 2022.
Wow.
And so we worked, we were a Salesforce partner, and we worked with nonprofits, education, K through 12, higher ed, helping those types of companies implement Salesforce. And because of our specialty in that area, along with our dedication to training the next generation of Salesforce professionals. A company called Bitwise Industries thought that we were a perfect fit for their portfolio of companies and wanted to acquire us. And
Yeah.
so it was a it is a process. It
Yeah.
was very rewarding, and it was a good experience to be able to build something and have someone else see the value in that and want to pay for it.
The value. Absolutely. And I was about to ask, so as individuals are building their business and, they may not be thinking about getting acquired or selling their company. However, in order to do that, you have to kind of be in a position. And so what advice would you give to individuals to kind of be in position to either sell your business or pass it down to your family or even be acquired? I mean, what are those things that should go in place to be in place?
Yes. So one, I think you have to understand your business. You have to know your product niche or focus, right? And so not being all over the place. Oh, I just sell shoes. Well, who's your target customer? Who are you selling shoes to? And how are you reaching them? Having processes in place, having a
Mhm.
roadmap in place, because we weren't planning on being acquired, but we it but we put ourselves in a position to, if we were going to be acquired, they saw value in what we did. So we saw the value in what we did and we were clear on that. And so having a clear product focus or service focus, having processes in place, um, and your market position. And so we had good relationships in our industry. And that is actually how this acquisition connection even happens, because of those, one, because of our good reputation, and two, because of the networking connections we had across the industry. And everything definitely was not perfect this past year, right?
Yeah.
We had some missteps on some projects, some big projects, but again, for our space in the consulting space, because acquisitions in the Salesforce space are very common, right? And those acquisitions come because another company sees a specific market fit that they want to go into that you have.
Yeah.
And so having that identity and being clear definitely assisted in this acquisition.
Well, congratulations on that. I'm going to do a whole workshop on getting acquired, putting yourself in a position to get acquired or to sell your company. So much respect for that. All right, so I want to go back to your HBCU days. All right, so um, being at the university, were there entrepreneurship programs there when you were there? If you can recall?
So I was in a program or club called SIFE, which is Students in Free Enterprise.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So that, and then there was BEEP through the Urban League. Um, and so I think in our business school, just this idea of, one, critical thinking, all of the classes we took in our school, and just the overall, I think when you're involved in different clubs and activities like SGA or any other organization, and that amount of coordination and operations and, getting people to your event or selling your food tray for fundraising for your organization. I think all of that contributes to students learning entrepreneurial skills, but definitely SIFE was one of those areas in which helped. In our business building, we ran a little snack cart, and we participated in their competitions. And so I think that really helped with, I guess, my little entrepreneurship bug.
Well, it did well for you. It did well for you. All right. So now that you're out, how can HBCUs, especially Bethune-Cookman, foster entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I think there's so many ways today for colleges to foster entrepreneurship. And one is really making sure students even understand what's happening in the business world.
Yeah.
There's so many companies that you don't even know, you're not even aware of. I think students are starting to pay attention more now because of crypto or the stock market. But I think even helping students understand what publications to read and what companies are doing, what's happening in the market,
Mhm.
understanding who the players are in these different industries. And then, like you said, taking and breaking down certain income streams today. So if students were to understand and break down, what does it mean to be an influencer? How does that work? Let's break down the numbers and really understand how that works. Students don't really even understand, I don't think today, how data works and how their data is being sold
Oh boy.
and using it, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think that's really relevant to the things that are important to them today if they understood how Instagram and Spotify and all these podcast places, how you get paid, how that works, what type of data you're looking for, breaking down how, like, I think Kevin on Stage just launched his class where he was breaking down how long he has been in the influencer game and the steps he took to go from his first video to when the first video went viral, right? And breaking that down as a lesson in business, I
Yeah.
think would be super helpful to a lot of the students.
Oh wow. Thank you for that. All right, HBCU presidents. Hope you're listening. All right. So your HBCU helped you, or how has your HBCU helped you in business and life?
Um, in business, I have really good connections. So when we first started eSOAR, one of my former classmates, Tramika Benjamin, who has a company um, that I cannot think of at the moment. Um, Now I got to look for it. She has a company, and just reaching out to her, me going on LinkedIn saying, "Hey, I'm doing Salesforce," and she reached out because they have a company that works with HBCUs. They do amazing marketing
Oh,
work with those schools, helping them to think
oh.
through their marketing and communication journey.
Hmm.
And in that process, they use Salesforce as a tool. Like, it's not something that she focuses on necessarily in her company, but it's right. But she understood how they use that tool. And so those types of connections have come so many times from other HBCU graduates or my own classmates that are saying, hey, I know a company or my company uses Salesforce. How can we partner? How can I leverage your services? And I think that is one of the most amazing things about my HBCU and other HBCU grads. It's just that networking connection and, sending leads and working together. Um, you asked me another question. What was it?
Now that was the question, life and business. How has, attending, HBCU has helped you out in life and business?
Mhm.
You
Oh,
know,
and her company is called Swim Digital Group. They do amazing work.
you gotta get her on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, make that connection. Swim Digital. Okay. All right. So I want you to give out the Dreamin' in Color is coming up June 29th and June 29th through July 1st. And how can
Mhm.
people register again for that?
Yep, they can go to www.dreaminincolor.me. So dreaming with no G, in color.me.
All right, good deal. All right, is there anything you want to share with us before we exit out that I didn't ask that you want to share?
Not that I can think of, other than I am always looking for new HBCUs to work with. If you're an alumni or you work at an HBCU, please reach out. We do, I mean, you should see the stories I have of graduates
Yeah.
graduating with $65,000, $70,000 entry level roles,
Wow.
and really on the path early. They'll be they'll be making six figures before they're 30. And that is, it's not about the money, it's about the generational change that we're
Mm,
making, right?
yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And so that wealth building aspect of helping these students come out of school, make
Mm,
good salaries, pay off some debt, save some money, that makes it so much easier for them to buy their first home, to not get into so much credit card debt, to really, we partner with another organization called A Cents in a Jar. She's a
mm,
FAMU graduate, Lachey Reeves,
okay.
and just helping students to understand how to be financially stable is
Mm.
really the goal, the underlying goal of what we're doing. And so if anyone has any questions, please, please, please reach out to me.
And give out your contact information once again. I want them to bombard you.
The website is tech-forward.org, and you can email us at info@tech-forward.org.
All right, good deal. Tiffany, I really appreciate you coming on. Let me play this music as we are going out. There we go. So thank you for coming on board, and look forward to networking with you as well. And don't forget, everybody, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. HBCU Daily GRND here every Monday, and our website again is HBCUByAssociation.com, and you can find us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter at HBCU by Association. Until we meet again next week, continue to improve and progress.